Welcome to the Boozy Blondes podcast.
She's Molly.
And she's Chrissy.
We're best friends on a quest to bring you all things boozy.
Let's get lit. Pop,
Fizz,
clink. Let's drink.
Hey Lushes, welcome back to the Boozy Blondes.
Today's dough is Beach Blonde Ale from Three Daughters because this episode is all about St. Pete.
So we just got back from St. Pete, Florida. It was my birthday, so we were celebrating by going to a bunch of breweries, of course.
I'd like to say fake birthday.
Yes, but that's a whole nother story. So I wrote a little letter to St. Pete, and I think I'm going to have to call this segment Dear St. Pete.
Aw.
Dear St. Pete, thank you for having 12 breweries within walking distance. Dear St. Pete, thank you for having 70% of my college friends living in or close enough to your town that they will come drink with me.
Can I interrupt your Dear St. Pete? Wait, so 70% of your friends you went to UCF with live close enough to St. Pete to join us in our boozy adventures, is what you're saying. Okay.
Because I always get in trouble with this because I don't know much about my Florida geography, but I feel like they live close enough to St. Pete that I'm going to say they're from St. Pete. And I know that if they're listening, they're all yelling that the names of their hometowns are definitely not St. Pete. But
I don't think one of them live in St. Pete.
None of them actually live in St. Pete. But I feel like it's like saying when you live in Orlando that like Disney's next door.
Oh,
it's really 40 minutes away, but
you're in Orlando.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So yeah, anyway, that's where I'm getting my logic here. But dear St. Pete, thank you for being hot all the time. This was our second time there. We went in March, and I feel like it was just as hot. So it doesn't matter. Just go. You'll have a good time and wear shorts and bring a towel.
You know, I always call it West Florida, but I think people who live here call it South Florida. Yeah. Although I think South Florida is like Fort Lauderdale and that area. But anyway, apparently South Florida, meaning the St. Pete area, is just a different type of hot than we have over here in St. Augustine. There's no ocean breeze. There's the Gulf, but apparently there's no Gulf breeze.
I feel like you really believe this because I have a video of you saying the same thing at one of the
bars.
Are you
kidding me?
This is what happens when you have two Pennsylvania girls come to Florida and like we start talking about where places are because...
But you were giving me a weird look as I'm telling you
that
this.
Because that was like popping in my head and I was trying to like keep from smirking.
Oh, sorry to bore you with the same stories over and over again.
Well, they only saw that if they were on our... Actually, I don't think they even did because I took like the wording out on the Instagram story I did. So they didn't have to hear it over and over. Okay, but I think those were my Dear St. Pete thank you letters because I really just love going there because there are so many bars and breweries all in the same area. I have a ton of friends in the area and the weather's always beautiful, even in the winter. But besides that, I think my favorite thing besides just going to all the breweries and bars is they just have like a really great social scene. Like we stayed at an awesome hotel.
The Hollander.
We could walk to a ton of restaurants.
Which is always safe with us. Well, pretty safe. Yes. I mean, I guess Uber might be the safest.
Yes,
but...
we walk or Uber. Safety first.
Oh my gosh, because you were flashing everybody the entire time in the dress you were wearing.
I'm not
except
safe
your husband.
Anywhere because I was flashing people as we walked to dinner and I hit my head when I got into the Uber. I mean, seriously.
I'm sorry for bursting out laughing. I forgot about that.
You held it together when I did it, though. You didn't really laugh that hard.
Well, because I know Phil always gets nervous when you hurt yourself. And I do want to laugh, but I'm trying to be respectful. Like that one time when you tripped in downtown Jacksonville.
At the Dave Matthews concert.
Yeah, I did lose it.
Oh, my God. Normally, Molly will just... start bursting out laughing and yelling that she can't breathe because she's laughing so hard. But yeah, sometimes she reins it in and shows her true friendship. But for those of you playing along, she did say Phil, so that means you have to drink. So.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh, well, cheers.
So we're going to pause.
Cheers to the P-Man.
He will hate that nickname.
Careful, don't say things when I'm still drinking.
Okay.
Don't want to waste any of this delicious beer.
So back to St. Pete, we went for my birthday and we picked 4 breweries that we were going to start at one end and basically work our way back towards the hotel.
Can we start with the hotel?
Yeah.
Because Chrissy, you had stayed at the Hollander before. I had not. And it's adorable. I didn't look up the history to give you any fun facts.
I'm so glad you liked it because I love old things. So let's just like preface it by that. I love anything antique and old and ghost stories. And so it was built in 1933.
You're going to tell me the history.
Yes. As a hotel.
I purposely didn't look this up.
And it was restored, like a family bought it and then it was used as other things. And then the people that currently own it bought it and restored it back to a hotel and put the original name. So it was originally the Hollander. It's the Hollander once more. They own the property next door and did the same thing. So there's 2 beautiful boutique hotels there. And I just love history. So it was kind of nice because we love cruising. So the first time I went there, I just felt like I was on a cruise because they have a bar and restaurant on property and a pool with a bar. So it was just a blast. So I really hoped that Molly was going to like it.
As soon as we walked in, Rainer said, "Oh, this smells like ghosts."
Yeah, I knew he was going to think it was haunted.
And so which is why I didn't look up the history in case I was going to learn about some ghostly beings joining us in the room that night. Oh, no, I won't. Never mind. But the tap room, tap room bar and grill, right, is the official name, was awesome. The food, I didn't really have any expectations about the food, but it was awesome. But for the Boozy Blondes, there were 21 beers on tap and a full craft cocktail menu, too. I had the I-75. Anything with lavender and gin, I'm all about. Which it had both. It was delicious. It all had champagne on top too, from what I remember. But yeah, so Molly, the snotty hotel boozy blonde, does recommend the Hollander, and we'll be back. The pool area is beautiful. Chrissy reserved a cabana for her birthday, so we definitely enjoyed our drinks poolside.
Yeah, that is where the boozy adventure started, and I love anywhere where people will just bring me drinks. So a cabana and a poolside bar is perfect. So we started out there on Friday, and then Saturday was the pub crawl. So we had the Uber take us to Three Daughters, and then basically worked our way back. Oh no, you're right. Okay, that was my plan. I drunk and forgot already.
Yeah, she hit her head in that Uber. Remember?
So Rainer started suggesting that we like check out some of these other places, and normally I am like the planning Nazi and like shoot all other ideas down. But I was like, an arcade brewery sounds kind of cool.
Yeah.
So we checked it out.
I'm an active drinker. You know that. I like to do things while I drink, especially when they're competitive. So we had the Uber take us to right around the corner bar.
I think I blacked out because that's when I hit my head.
Yeah.
No, but he sold me when he said they had skee ball.
Mm-hmm. We love skee ball. Well, so we had a little skee ball tournament. I won.
It was so retro. Like, it totally reminded me of Rec Room in Jacksonville. Because they had all these old, like, Nintendo games.
Even the taps were, like, the old Duck Hunt guns, right?
I didn't even notice that.
I specifically showed you. Oh, maybe it wasn't you. No, I'm sorry, Chrissy. I apologize. I was thinking of you because I asked the bartender if there was Duck Hunt in the bar since they had the Duck Hunt guns hunting the tap. And I wanted to surprise you with Duck Hunt.
Oh, damn it.
But they didn't have it.
What did you drink there?
Oh, it was called Just Like Old Times. It wasn't Chrissy approved. It had lactose in it. It tasted like Orange Crush. I loved it. It was so good.
It looked really good. I wanted to try that.
It was.
I got a sour there, I think.
I don't remember what.
Yes, because remember they had a lot of sours, which I was really impressed with.
The Palmer Arnold was one of them.
It was Arnold Palmer, but like drunken backwards.
Yeah.
And I couldn't.
That's what you had?
It. Yes, that's what I had.
I think I tried it. Yeah.
So if you've been following along, you know that we love sours because I was never a big beer drinker. Learning to like sours is kind of turning me into a beer drinker. Mm-hmm. So I get really excited when bars have sours and kind of celebrate it because some bars are pretty snobby, like especially breweries. They're like, ew, no, we don't have sours. I've been to a couple of places where they're like, no, this is a craft brewery. So sours are still winning places over, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that she's on board because then we get to share things and split things.
So yeah, that is, I guess, our first stop on Saturday.
So if you do go there, bring your dollars so you can get the change to play all the fun games. Chrissy and I, there's free games. They have old Nintendo game systems. I think a Sega maybe.
Yeah, we played Mario Kart.
Yeah. We just said that together.
Oh yeah, so drink.
I was Peach. I didn't know this about Chrissy. She chooses Wario. as
Always.
her character, but
oh yeah, because I wasn't Wario for Halloween. Fun fact, we dressed up as Mario Kart for Halloween one year. I think we had like every single character. There was about a dozen of us, and we even rode bicycles and had
with
the balloons on the back. Yeah. So that was one of my favorite Halloweens.
And I would, well,
who was Wario, Rainer or Therese?
Therese was Wario. I was Luigi. I was never
Mario.
Be Luigi. I know.
That's weird.
And Rainer was Waluigi.
Well, I think we thought it was just going to be us, so we started with like the two most classic characters, and then as usual, it just kept growing. So that was a really fun party.
Yeah, that was fun. So if you go, bring your dollars. It's a $1 game for skee ball. There's air hockey. There's old school pinball machines, and then along with the gaming systems like Nintendo and Sega and things like that. It looks like they have tournaments. There were little plaques.
Oh yeah, there were
wall.
plaques on the wall.
But we didn't look into it enough, and we were only there for a little bit.
So then we moved on to Three Daughters. But before we get to that, I feel like we totally forgot to say that the whole reason that we went to St. Pete is because they're part of the Tampa Bay craft beer scene, which is the largest craft beer area in Florida. They have almost 50, right, in the Tampa Bay area.
I think there's 47 breweries in Pinellas County as of this summer, 2021. 17 of those breweries are in St. Pete.
Yes, and we went to...
Five. Hey, yeah. Chipping away.
Yeah, we're chipping away. And I think it's pretty cool that Phil is from Pinellas County, so like beer is just in his blood.
Yeah, totally.
Maybe that's why we have kegs on tap at our house. Just can't get it.
The next step is to get nitro.
Okay, so what did you think of Three Daughters? Because I went there the last time, like in March when we did our first pub crawl of St. Pete.
I thought Three Daughters had a great space. Oddly, I didn't make it outside where the band was, but they have a beautiful, from what I hear, was a beautiful outdoor area. They also have private spaces if you would like to reserve those for you and your gang. A lot of great beer choices. Chrissy and I think we split a flight there.
Yes.
But the day we were there, they had this two beers they were releasing that day. It was the peanut butter marshmallow blonde and the mango habanero IPA. And we sampled the blonde. We were so excited because we love peanut butter and we love marshmallows. That would have been a hard beer to drink if it was a full like 16 ounces, I think.
I mean, but their Instagram post totally grabbed me with the peanut butter and the marshmallows. It was really good, but I don't think I could have drank more than just like a little flight size glass.
Yeah, it was sweet and it was kind of heavy, but like they nailed the flavor for sure. Rainer had the mango habanero IPA, and then he had it again. He loved it. He said, I tried it. There was a little heat, and you know, I'm a baby when it comes to spicy stuff. There was a little heat at the back, but it was a really good beer, especially for an IPA.
Your favorite beer there?
I don't remember.
So yeah, we did the flight,
liked all of them.
And so we tried a lot of different beers. My favorite one by far was the Nitro. They had a strawberry blonde Nitro ale, and that was the only Nitro I tried the whole pub crawl. And I always loved them and begged Phil to like somehow figure out how to get a Nitro keg at the house. But it was just so creamy. I mean, it's probably my lack of ever being able to drink milk stouts or anything like that, because I loved that. But yeah, I can definitely vouch for Three Daughters outdoor space. It's phenomenal. They have a huge warehouse. Sometimes they even do like community events. The first time I was there, they had a big garden outdoor farmers market happening. So it was even more crowded than usual. And they always have bands, which I love. And they have a really good dedicated kitchen and food menu.
Oh my gosh, yes, the food was excellent.
Yeah, and so we tried different stuff. Yeah, we got the kids meal because we love hot dogs and you know about the hot dog window. But that was really good. But the last time I was there, we had a burger and we stayed outside the whole time and listened to the music. And like Molly was saying, I love that they cater to big parties. They have 3 or 4 different like event spaces you can rent, and you can actually rent the entire brewery out if you want to like host a wedding or a big corporate event there. So I thought that was cool. And they were really great with responding to us. So maybe we will host a Boozy Blondes event there one day.
Yeah. So that's where I don't know, like 10% of your 70% of friends showed up.
Yeah.
Everyone was sick this weekend.
Yeah. So that was a bummer, but it was really great to see everyone that came because sometimes it's like quality over quantity. But
not that the friends who weren't there are not quality friends. It was just that we got quality time.
Exactly.
With the few people who were there.
Clearing that up, Molly. See, this is why she edits everything I do. But I think the reason that Three Daughters is probably one of the most popular ones in St. Pete is just because they're so large. And that's why the Beach Blonde Ale from Three Daughters was our dough of the episode, because I feel like they have the largest distributing area. I've seen it in a ton of places around Florida and even in Georgia. And it was just probably the largest brewery we went to.
Yeah.
Yeah. They have a really giant operation. Like, you can see the cannery outside and everything. Oh, yeah, because you didn't see that. So if you walk outside, they have the giant cannery system, and they have, like, all the empty cans and the conveyor belts that, like, are sometimes running. And I
missed that.
Yes.
I would have loved to see that.
It's
we
like
have to go back.
Mousetrap.
Oh, the game?
Yes.
When you finally get to the end, when you get to send the ball or whatever
you get a
down.
Six-pack. It's even better than getting to the end.
Oh, new game idea. Write that down.
Okay,
but
so
yeah, definitely want to go back to Three Daughters.
What was our next stop after Three Daughters?
Pause.
Okay. Oh, that sound means it's time for a refill. When we're cool enough to have sponsors, this is where we'll share. But for now, just grab yourself a new drink if you're playing along with us. And we're back. So I think this was my favorite brewery. I think we were supposed to save this to the end where we say like what our favorite was, but I just loved Pause. That was the second time I was there. It was my favorite both times, so I feel like I can confidently say Pause is my favorite.
Yeah, I think that's a safe statement to make.
And this is the reason why. Like, first of all, you know I'm a huge dog lover, and their logo is a dog paw. It's actually called Pinellas Ale Works, but it stands for Pause. They, during Yappy Hour, they donate $1 of each beer bought to the local animal shelter. So it's like drinking for a cause, which I love. I love dogs, and I love their selection of just really off-the-wall weird beers and sours.
They had a great selection of beers.
I got an entire flight of sours, which is kind of hard to do at most places. But this one, there were so many, like I couldn't choose just four. But my favorite one both times was the horchata, which is actually a rice ale with vanilla and cinnamon. And it's 5.8 volume, so that's pretty much perfect for me because it's not too weak, it's not too strong, it's not going to knock you on your ass.
That's a good number, yeah.
And it's light because when you think of horchata, I don't know, I just think of like creamy, like Christmas dark beer, but it's actually a really blonde ale.
Yeah, I would say that's my favorite too. It reminded me of the horchata drinks you made at Christmas last year.
I don't even remember those.
Oh, they were really good. I think I had way too many.
Oh, wait, yeah, I do sort of remember. But I like it because it's a pretty medium-sized brewery. It's not huge inside or by any means, but both times we were able to get a large table, large enough for our group, and you can play darts. Mm-hmm. And I've never been in their outdoor area, but I did see a lot of people heading out that way. It was just way too hot in August to be sitting outside drinking beer.
It was nice. We got to sit there with our friend Fallon, the other girl in tow with us, while the boys played darts, and we played cards and just enjoyed our flights. And it was a really great brewery.
We learned that card game called Derby, which is basically like horse racing and cards and drinking all rolled in together. All of my favorite things.
Yeah. Well, I think we didn't really gamble. I think we were supposed to take drinks.
Like, he didn't know what was happening. He started throwing dollars at me, and he's like, what am I betting on? I was like, oh, wow. I love how dedicated you are to just jumping in with money, but just hold on to your dollars.
I've trained him well.
And you said they had a menu there, right? They had food at Pause? I feel like you pointed out a menu.
Sorry, Pause. This is a little
selective drinking memory. This is what
happens. I remember feeling pretty good at this place.
Sometimes we have to go back to the instant replay and look at the photographs. This is why I take so many.
Yeah, which is very helpful.
But something I thought was really cool when we were at Pause, I actually found out that they have a beer passport, which I think is phenomenal. So we were ordering our flights. So we stood up at the counter for a little while talking to the girls and like trying to read the menu and pick our perfect flight. And we saw these 2 passports like kind of sitting back behind the counter. So I asked our waitress about it. Remember we had like the tall and small?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I can't remember their names, but they were so sweet, like the nicest bartenders. So they were telling us about the passports. So they sold 2 different ones. The one that I got the info on for you guys it's called getpubpass.com. You can get a passport for $20 that will get you a free drink at, I think it was 10 different breweries around in the Pinellas, St. Pete area. So you spend the $20, you get your passport, and you have a whole year to fill it at your leisure. And you get a free drink at all the breweries that are designated in the passport. So I thought that was fantastic.
I agree. That's a 2022 goal for us. I want to go fill my passport.
I know. I'm really glad like that we saw that because this is like my 3rd or 4th time to St. Pete. And I was like, man, I could have had this thing filled out. But they had a second one there, which I haven't found the info on yet, but I'm going to be researching this. And she said for $60, it was all the breweries in Florida.
Yeah.
Maybe not all, but just like it was all throughout the state of Florida, different breweries
who participate in the passport program. Yeah.
And I was just telling Brian, one of our other friends that was at the pub crawl with us, I was like, this is what we do now. Like when Phil and I get a free weekend or if we have to travel for work, and this is what you and I do, is kind of how the whole pub crawl or Boozy Blonde thing started, is we find a bar we want to go to or a brewery and like make the destination fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And if we could just do this for the rest of our life, I think I'd be happy. I'm not going to get sick of it. People are always going to be brewing new beers and
I know, and I was
coming
like,
up
Brian,
with new drinks.
Does that make me an alcoholic? He's like, no, that makes you fun. I was like, this is why we're friends, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so where did we go after Pinellas? Or do you have anything else to say about Pinellas?
No. After pause, we went to Avid. Yes. I have a confession to make. When I was making my notes for this episode, I sat there. I'm so sorry, Avid. I couldn't remember being there at all. And it wasn't until right before we started recording today, and Chrissy showed me a picture of the beer there. And I said, oh, where's that from? That looks awesome. It was Avid. And I said, oh my gosh, now I remember. It was delicious. And we watched the Olympics.
Yeah. I think that's why Avid just kind of like just dissolved into the background because we were so absorbed in the Olympics.
Yeah.
It was a race, right? We were watching a marathon. The women.
Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So we got like super sucked in by this. But that was actually one of my favorite breweries first time I was there. I still enjoyed it. It was a little bit busier this time.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, because last time I swear, we were the only people there. The same bartender, and she's super sweet, and she was, I don't know, I was pretty drunk.
Oh, you told her.
Yeah, and I was like, Kelly, right? I remembered her name, which never happened.
Wow.
And
Kelly made quite the impression the first time.
I guess. Well, so we found, Bonnie, who was there with me last time, found a doll, like a creepy Halloween Chucky doll.
No way.
Like somewhere in the brewery, like she just spotted it, and she goes, ew, what's the deal with the dolls? So Kelly started telling us, she's like, oh, I don't know, like one of the like bartenders or patrons or somebody like started this thing, like brought one in, so like people start bringing them in now.
Why didn't I see these?
I don't want to point them out because I know that like you and especially Megan hate the dolls and the hauntedness.
I would have taken pictures of these dolls.
So there were 4 the last time we were there, and the girl told us there's 4, like see if you can find them. So it became like a photo hunt, and we were just looking for dolls. And
active drinking.
Then me and Bonnie got really drunk and annoying, and we saw the spiral staircase, and we're like, oh my gosh, like what's up there? What's up
Another
there?
thing I didn't see.
Kelly. And she's like, oh my God, you can go up there. Like I think she just was like, please leave me alone and let me fill the drinks for the 20 people you just brought in here. So Bonnie and I went upstairs, and you could see down like into the whole brewery. It's just an office, but we thought it was like special. We had VIP access.
Like the opposite of a Harry Potter room.
Yeah.
Upstairs.
So I liked that about it. I loved that they have hot dogs, and they have kombucha on tap. So
we had a hot dog there too, didn't we?
I had a hot dog there.
I did too. Yeah.
Wow, we had 2 hot dogs in one day.
We had like 7 those first. We got like 5
Kids meal hot
minis.
dog,
Yeah. Like little pigs in a blanket.
But I like whenever they have kombucha on tap, I will do half and half kombucha and half whatever the palest ale is.
Mm-hmm.
I started that when I was in Highlands when we do our Georgia trip.
Mm-hmm.
But
and sometimes people still look at you funny when you
do.
ask for that.
Yes.
But some people have jumped on that trend.
Yeah. I started it at Satula because this is when I still like didn't like beers and they didn't have any sours. And I saw they had kombucha, so I was like, okay, let me do a half and half, like half kombucha, half beer. I thought that would like, make me be able to stomach the beer. And the bartender's like, that is just not going to be good. I've never heard anyone order that. And I was like, well, I'm going to try it. And so I did, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's really good. She goes, what's your name? So I told her Christina, and she's like, I'm going to name it after you.
Oh.
But she's like, wait, let me try it first. And she's like, okay, it's good. I'll still name it after you. But it looks weird. I showed a picture to Molly right before we started, and like the top looked curdled like a brain, and Rainer hated it.
But that's what I drank too.
Yeah.
That's what, because like I said, I could not remember, and then I saw the picture. Mm-hmm. And we had hot dogs and halves.
Yes.
Christina's.
Yes, we had Christina's.
Yeah, Avid, the outdoor area was really pretty too, but it was just so hot. We all posted up inside and watched the race. So far, most of the places we've referenced were really dog friendly. I don't know about right around the corner because I didn't see any dogs in there. I don't remember, but there's a really great website. It's drinklocalflorida.com. So if you live in Florida and you're headed to any of our awesome cities here, they have a key, and basically you can see which brewery in whatever city you're going to is dog friendly, if they sell merch, if they sell pints, if they sell growlers, if they have food, if food trucks come. It's the best website. So that was drinklocalflorida.com, and Florida is spelled out. That is a fantastic resource, Mall. Because when I travel, I bring Vince with me everywhere, and I normally just check bringfido.com, which will tell you like restaurants and hotels. But specifically, we were just in Jekyll Island looking at breweries, and I was trying to find places that were dog friendly, and it was like 100 degrees out. Oh, he must have loved it.
You want the places that will actually let you bring the dog inside. Some are like, oh, we're dog friendly, but only outside, and that does not help when it's 100 degrees out. Right. But we found one up there that was, and I would have definitely needed this Drink Local Florida. So I hope more states do that because. Yeah, I was just going to say, I'm going to do every state now. Yeah. And we'll put it on our blog. State by state. Yeah. So for no matter where you're listening from, if your state has one, you can visit it. And if they don't, you can start it. All right, so where did we go after Avid? Do you remember? Yeah, I do. We went to Green Bench, and we were really excited because... Ooh, we went in somewhere before Green Bench. No. Right next door. That was still Green Bench, wasn't it? Well, it's actually called Webb's Cider City Cellar. Webb's City Cellar. You got there. I'm so proud of you. Yes, so... We got there, I think it was like 3 minutes to 6. Yes. And they were closing for a private party. They had a wedding. And so I think they had 4 of their own brewed meads on tap. You tagged us in that on Instagram. Mm-hmm. So yes, watch the Boozy Blondes on Instagram because we're always on there trying to find cool new local things to share on our page that you can check if you're in the area. Well, yeah, and if you are a brewery or a bar listening to this, tag at Boozy Blondes so we know we can come and check it out and help promote it. So I don't want to, well, is it a meadery? I don't think it is, but like we basically were treating it like a meadery because they had 4 of their own meads, then they had 4 or 5 other meads. Right, like guest meads. Yeah. But they also had their own honey up on the roof. Yeah, they're doing something called the Florida Mead Project, and so they're basically doing their own honey on the rooftop. They grow like a lot of their own, I don't know, what is it, like the flowers that they season the honey with, I guess, up there. Because it makes like the orange blossom honey if the bees are pollinating that. So they have a lot of different plants up there to get the different pollen flavors. I wish we could have went up there. I know. But they were so nice because we did literally get there like right at closing time, which because they were closing for a wedding, which we watched all the people coming in for the wedding and thought that looked fantastic. But they are connected
to Green Bench
Yes,
because they all work together. They also share tips too.
Yeah, which I thought was really cool.
We wanted to close out with our bartender, of course. He served us and he said, don't worry about it. Just if you're going next door, you can keep your tab open and everything is connected. And the meads were really good. I know Rainer especially liked the little break.
I wanted that one so badly, but I knew that was the only one he was going to like. He had, was it called Ender, something like that. It was basically just pure honey. I have a video where I recorded you like pointing to each one and saying what they were. But the rest of them had a lot more fruit forward. Like there was a plum one, a berry one. I ended up doing the passion fruit, which I really liked. But
yeah, I had a dark cherry, I think, and then the one with all the dark berries in it.
That did me in, though, because they're just such higher alcohol percentage.
Yeah, you refused to go anywhere else after that.
Yeah, because they were kind of like, oh, you know, there's a lot more that we could have walked to. And I was like, no, I am done. And I'm never the person that's like, no, I want to go home. But
you
I was
didn't
like,
seem that bad. Well, that's probably why you wanted to go home.
Yeah, I was like, guys, I'm keeping it together right now.
Yeah.
And like, you need to take me home and I need some food because I've only had hot dogs all day.
Yeah. And for whatever reason, I wanted spaghetti meatballs. And and behold, our taproom bar and grill at the Hollander had a delicious plate of spaghetti meatballs, but that's later.
I was really excited you wanted that because I had that on Thursday night.
Oh, you did? Then you had it again?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Right. So Green Bench, I didn't have any of the beer. Rainer had their lager and he really enjoyed that. He said after the mead, that was like a perfect, just kind of light ending. They had a really cute shirt we wanted to buy as well.
Yeah, they were out of our sizes.
Yeah.
We'll have to look online because they sell a lot of their stuff online. That's where I got the stickers.
You know what else happened at Green Bench? So we're getting old. Well,
are you going to tell the snap story?
Yeah.
Okay, this is pretty funny.
Our friend.
I was like, wait, what happened?
It was pretty busy there. Oh, and the lawn area is great. They must show. Again, we don't live in the area, so we don't get to enjoy a lot of what all these local breweries have to offer on a regular basis. But they definitely show movies. There's a projector and an open space in the wall with all the landscaping around it. So they must have events there at night.
I think they had the best venue. Like Three Daughters was the biggest operation with the most to choose from. I feel like Pinellas had the most unique stuff. They all had something to offer. Like Around the Corner had all those retro throwback games.
Yes.
Avid was just like really fun.
It's like your local,
you
bar.
feel like you're hanging out like
with the
at
locals.
Your uncle's house or something. Your uncle who brews beer, you know. And then Green Bench was just amazing. It has the two different, like the wine side, the cellar, and then the brewery, and then this big awesome lawn with all this different type of seating in the middle.
Lots of seating, yeah. And it was busy. There were a lot of people there. And Chrissy and I were standing there talking to our one friend who looked at one of the girls and turned to us and said, I think that shirt probably has a snap crotch. A crotch snap. My bad. Yeah. Wait, crotch snap. And he goes, who even wears those anymore? And Chrissy looked at him and said, I have one on right now.
He's like, wait, what? The crotch snap is back? I was like, I can tell you accurately, the crotch snap is back because I'm wearing one right now.
Which I've never worn a crotch snap.
Even back in the 90s?
No. Oh my gosh. I love rompers, and I have the hardest time with rompers because I pee all the time. Ugh. A crotch snap. You said it's easier to pee in, but that's a story for another time.
Oh, yeah.
But it was just really funny how...
Oh, my God, yeah. His face, like, it was funny because I don't think he ever gets embarrassed, but he was kind of just like, oh, man, that's just TMI. I didn't need to know that.
A, and B, I think he wanted, like, a comrade to kind of, like, make fun of somebody, which is not nice. But Chrissy was like, well, I'm actually wearing one right now.
I'm loud and proud about the crotch snap.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
Keeps everything tucked in so nicely.
Right.
I mean,
keeps it tight.
Yeah.
But oh my gosh, yeah, that was a really happening place. There was a ton of people there. I think it was probably the most crowded place.
Yeah, it was also getting later in the night. I mean, we started pretty early.
So on this trip, we all just Ubered home from there. Everyone went their separate ways. But the first time I did the pub crawl with the UCF crew, we walked to one more brewery. We went to Cycle Brewery, and they're pretty famous for their stouts. which,
Ooh.
as I said, I'm not a huge beer drinker, and stouts are super beery. But I was like, all right, I'm going to go for it because that was just about all they had on their menu, which definitely made Phil mad, but, you know, that's Phil. So I talked to the bartender, and I was like, you know, he's this big, burly, lumberjack-looking guy. And once again, we're there like right before closing, so no one is in the mood for a bunch of drunk people to show up right before closing. And so I was like, so what's your favorite stout? And like totally expecting him to just be like, oh my God. He turned into a marshmallow. He just told me about all the ones he likes. And I don't know if he's like part of the brewing team, but he just had so much pride in what they make there. And he told me so much about it. I was like, man, I want to try everything after this. But the one I tried was kind of like a s'more because he said marshmallow and he had me at that.
Yeah.
So I did that one and I loved it. And I had such a good time there that I ended up buying my brewery hat there. Like, this is how you know I've had a really good time. I'm drunk enough to just, like, spend $30 on a hat when I have, like, just too many already at home.
Buckets and buckets of hats.
So I bought a secret hat because if I share them or show Phil, he'll make me share them with him. But I really liked it. And another cool thing about them, which I don't know if any of the other brewers we went to, is they, I don't know if they had a full liquor bar, but we could order rum and gingers. So I was
at
like,
Cycle?
Yeah. So I was like, that's perfect. At the end of the night, we also got rum and gingers there. And then at that point, we were so close to the Hollander, we walked home.
Oh,
because we had,
that would have been nice. Too.
Yeah, because I mean, we were walking maybe like a half a mile between each place. It was like getting closer and closer to home. Because I think Three Daughters was only like 2 miles away.
I didn't check my steps that day.
Well, we got our little map right here, like where it shows everything is. So, I don't know, just about every one of the breweries, they have this little tap map. It's called Grand Central Breweries. It's 8 craft breweries and tap rooms, just a few blocks apart. So if you can stomach 8 beers rather quickly, you can walk to all 8 of these breweries because, I mean, some of them are literally just across the street from each other. Another one we did last time was called Cage Brewing, and it is great. It's very, very small inside, so we had to stay outside, and they were just having, like, the caterpillar outbreak.
Oh.
I guess there's a time of year in Florida where all these woolly, biting caterpillars hatch.
I'm getting, like... bleh,
so we're sitting outside under a tent. First of all, there was, like, an opera going on, and they were singing in Italian, and I was like, what the hell is happening? We're at a brewery. There's Italian opera. We're having to sit outside, and there's a caterpillar outbreak. Like, it's the most memorable. We still laugh about this. But yeah, we were sitting there playing cards, and we just kept seeing these freaking caterpillars. And like, we'd kill one, and then a new one would appear. We're like, they're just multiplying or cloning or something. So Scott flips over his chair, and no lie, there's like 40 cocoons, and they're literally coming out at that moment. So we were like, oh, they were out of here.
They were hatching?
Yes. It was hilarious. So everyone jumps up. Like, there was like 20 of us at this point. We all jump up and we're like, nope, we're done. Like, we chugged our beers and moved on to the next place. But not to say that Cage isn't awesome. I love them. The first time I went there, I was with like a writing group, and we had a really good time there because it wasn't half as crowded. It's better. I don't know. I like places when they're not super crowded and you kind of just take over with your own crew.
Mm-hmm. I like that too. And weird thing about the caterpillars, I wasn't with you that day, but that same day I got attacked by those fuzzy caterpillars too, where I was.
Oh my God.
I was inside somewhere, and Rainer's sister said, don't move, Molly, which is never a really good thing to say to anybody.
Especially to Molly.
She peeled this white fuzzy, were they white?
Yes.
Yes, this white fuzzy caterpillar off of me. When I left the place where we were, the ground was moving. There were hundreds of them just crawling. Bite. Well, that's can't. It didn't bite me.
Well, so I remember it was really weird because I remember reading this, like, it was probably a Facebook scam article. I don't know if it was legit, but about these like poisonous caterpillars, and then like a week later we're at Cage and they're just hatching everywhere. So obviously these ones weren't like killer caterpillars because we all survived.
Well, you could probably have an allergic reaction or something to them, you know. But no, absolutely, they 100% will bite. Yeah,
but I liked Cage Brewing because their initials are CB, like mine, and so is Cycle Brewing. So that's why I couldn't resist the Cycle Brewing hat.
Oh, we need to find an MB brewery so I can get a hat.
But yeah, so I made a list of all the breweries in just the St. Pete area, and there's 19, so there's just too many to list. But we made it to
or to hit in 1 day.
Yeah, we made it to 5 on that trip, so there's definitely a reason to go back.
Absolutely. I can't wait to go back. We're thinking February 2022.
Yeah, I try to do it every 6 months because, like I said, like half of the people I went to college with live down there.
70% of her college friends.
Yeah, maybe I just didn't have a lot of college friends. I don't know. Okay, what was your favorite one? Because did we do this yet?
No, you did.
I did mine.
Yeah. What was it? Oh, Pause.
Yes,
Pinellas. Mm-hmm. My favorite was 100% right around the corner bar because we got to play skee ball and the boys played air hockey. We got to play Mario Kart. It was pretty empty when we went to, so we had run of the place.
Yes.
But again, I like a good activity while I'm drinking. So that was, although, Three Daughters, the tabletops, they all had board games.
Sorry, was at our table.
And Clue.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I think that last time they had a Scrabble, which I love.
Mm-hmm. Phonetic Scrabble. But yeah, and I mean, of course, I think that's a thing with a lot of breweries. They always have board games, but at Three Daughters, it was like laminated into your tabletops. So that was cool. Yeah.
So moral of the story, we love St. Pete for the breweries. So definitely check them out if you're looking for a bunch of great craft beer in one area. It's time for our Fast Five. Okay, Mal. Mm-hmm. Which one had the best logo?
Ooh.
It's Fast Five.
Oh. Chrissy, I don't remember.
Look.
Okay, hold on. Pause.
Funniest moment of the trip.
Oh my gosh. Pulling Rainer into the pool.
I knew you were going to say that. Which place do you want to go back to the most?
Green Bench.
Best meal of the trip.
Oh my God, those freaking meatballs.
Beer you would take a bath in.
Oh, the Orange Crush beer. That's not what it's called. It's just like old times. That was at just around the corner bar.
Okay, that was your Fast Five.
All right, Chris. Favorite bartender?
Kelly. At Avid.
Yes. Correct. Best happy hour.
Sea Salt.
Correct. Best food of the day.
Oh, man. I think it was still everything we had at Sea Salt. We ordered all the apps, and they were amazing.
Correct. You're 3 for 3. Which bar would you have to go back to next time?
Probably Pause, Pinellas Ale Works, because it's my favorite.
And which bar would you bring Vinny to?
Pause. They're so dog-friendly. They have little dog treats on all the tables.
That's true. They did. We forgot to mention that earlier. So if you are a dog owner, you definitely want to take your dog there.
That was our Fast Five.
Right.
We did good.
Yeah. And I think this
wraps
up.
It up. Yeah.
Yeah. It was great. I can't wait to do our St. Pete Volume 2 episode.
Yes.
After the next time we visit that awesome, fun, brewery-filled town.
So tune in for next week's episode. Make sure you check the website or follow us on Instagram to see what our dough, which is drink of the episode, will be, so you can drink along with us. And make sure you're playing the drinking game, which all of the great fun rules are also on our website.
Mm-hmm. And we'll be sure to recap this episode with all the websites like drinklocalflorida.com and the passport information and all of those breweries that we went to on this trip.
That's it for this episode. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back soon with more boozy fun.
Well, and make sure to follow us on social media so you can get the drink of the day on Wasted Wednesdays. On Facebook, we're /Boozy Blondes. On the gram, we are at boozy.blondes. And on YouTube, we're /Boozy Blondes. Visit our website for recipes and references from each episode at www.boozyblondes.com. We'd love to hear from you, so send us an email sharing your boozy stories and requests and pictures at boozyblondespodcast@gmail.com.
Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe to our podcast so you never miss a chance to drink with us. You can find us on iTunes, Spotify, and more. And don't forget to leave a review. The boozier, the better. If we love your toast to our show, we'll read it on air. Stay boozy.
Cheers.